John to have a chat in a minute. See what's what. We're all just going to meet up. Nice little group. Nice little group of us. John.
Big John here, day of action in Manchester, handing out leaflets. Well, I've got the illegals ones, but I don't want them. Tailor-made for Big John as well, with all his issues on the back. We've got Christian traditions and values, immigration control, grooming gangs, which has been going on in Rochdale, Metrolink crime, which resulted in 3 people being stabbed the other week on Victoria platform, and Extremism Mosque, meaning Disbury Mosque, which hasn't been under any official investigation, just an investigation by themselves, and where Salman Abedi was radicalised and blew 22 people up. So these are my tailor-made Manchester leaflets. You can ask me about any of the issues on it or anything, and I'll give you detailed explanations of what's going on, things that are not happening, and things that need to be done. So I'm here today, I'm with Britain First. There's plenty of us. We've got about 25, 30 of us here. I've been joined by a couple of patriots. Andrew Patrick's with us today. You seen him on my show last week. We've all got the lovely Sharon Workman up from down south. We got Stoke representative up, and we're having a load of speeches afterwards. So here we are today in Manchester, Britain First.
There we go. That's why we're there. Good little group of us. Nice one for Sherry, nice one. Beautiful. Full uniform. Handing out leaflets.
Big John here, now on the leafleting mission. What am I learning? Learning about the leaflets is get right up to somebody, Britain First, stand in front of them if you have to, and it will force them, or they're more likely to take a leaflet just by going like that on the way past. So, instant tips off the pros. Yellow Vests today are in Manchester feeding the homeless. Stand Up to Racism, we've got an indoor meeting at Methodist Church on Princess Street. I don't think we'll see them today, and I'm not expecting any trouble, but we're quite capable of handling it. We've got some meetings on afterwards. There's going to be speeches from me, Jim Edwards, Paul Rimmer, Richard, the Stoke Britain First coordinator. Johnny Banksy is going to be speaking. If you want to know where speeches are, message me or Joel and we'll send you the address for after.
Come along.
Come along, listen to the speeches. I'm going to be doing mine about the violent crime in the country right now. A bit of a taster. There's been absolutely murders on the streets. London, Birmingham and Manchester. The 3 places have been hit over this week. pushing, making Birmingham this month's highest total worst place in the country. But my speech, I'll be talking a bit more about the violent crime there. Also, I'll be touching on modern day slavery again, as again Oldham has been involved in 7 Romanians being rescued from 2 Romanians in modern day slavery in Oldham, giving it the unofficial modern day slavery capital of the UK. Again, I'll be talking about that on my speech, so if you want to listen, tune into Britain First site, or we'll have a recording done of my speech and you'll see that.
Yeah, I'll do a recording, put it on the YouTube channel, so that will be done. John just had a lady then come over to him and ask him, yeah, for a leaflet, yeah, because she didn't want, because he was a black lad, yeah, she wanted a leaflet off him.
Honestly, more than likely, I'm breaking the stereotype of a Britain First or a so-called right-winger. I'm just patriotic, and I believe in Britain, and I believe in Britain First. 90% of the things they say I believe in. I'm not going to believe totally in everything, no one's going to, but I believe in 90%, and that's better than believing in 10%. I uphold to what they say on the back of here about Christian values and traditions. Immigration control, we need to seriously sort that out. There's people coming over in rubber dinghies or across the English Channel and tell me we ain't got problems. The grooming gangs are 3 girls in Rochdale, an ongoing issue. I've been to Haywood a couple of times over the past few months, and what I get off the people there, that this kind of thing is still going on in the Rochdale and Haywood areas. So we're not having it, and we're going to keep speaking out against the grooming gangs as long as we can. Don't forget that 2 prominent Rochdale Labour councillors put support up for convicted paedophile in one of these gangs. They said sorry afterwards, but that ain't good enough for me. It's not good enough for me. They should be kicked off the council and kicked out the Labour Party, the paedophile party that they were part of. Metrolink crime. Again, I've gone on about the Metrolink crime. Just recently, there were 3 people stabbed on Victoria Metrolink platform. And the crime is going across all the Metrolink area. I've already given detailed explanations of some of the crimes and some of the things wrong with the Metrolink system. And then again, extremist mosques. Nobody's going to ever tell me that Salman Abedi did not get partially radicalised at Disbury Mosque. He did. Right, simple as. There's no official government body done an investigation. The mosque did their own investigation into it. Added to the hampering of the BBC with what did he call it now? Unchecked allegations of what people have said in the mosque, which, according to the British police, turned out to be what did he call it now? Out of context of what they said. BBC of all people putting shit up like that, you know, making everyone even more fucked up and mad is unbelievable. But again, these are my tailored leaflets from Manchester. We'll be handing them out over all this next year. Again, I can highlight anything you want to talk about on here. I can talk about, and I can give you detailed explanations to anything that I've ordered. Even Christian values and traditions. Even though I'm not a religious person myself, I do believe that I have been brought up with these Church of England values. I went to Boys Brigade, I went to Sunday school. I've sung hymns in churches and that all my life. We said the Lord's Prayer and all that. Yeah. These are the values and traditions that I've grown up with to make me the person I am today. So yeah, I do think highly of them values and traditions, even though I'm not a religious person. I'm not going to tell anyone it's wrong to pray 2, 3, 5 times a day, as long as they don't push the religious values onto us, force us into things like Sharia courts, which means unequal for women. As long as they don't do that, I'm all right, and I'll respect. Yes, Rick. Yes, Rick. Rick, you're a legend. Honestly, you're a legend. Yeah. The stuff you do always keeps me going. Yeah. And
we're going to look into that mosque thing and all.
Yeah.
History mosque thing. Yeah, because Rick wants to look into it as well, you see.
Right.
You know about them doing their own investigation.
Yeah.
We need to highlight that it should have been an independent.
Yeah, the independent. An independent group or finger that did that investigation, but it weren't. It ended up them being themselves, and that's not good enough for me.
No, because they can make up whatever they want, can't they?
Yeah, they can.
They can just say, "Oh no, he wasn't radicalised here," because we found out that he isn't. But he was. He must have been.
He was partially radicalised here in the UK at that mosque. Don't forget, Tommy highlighted over a dozen suspects of a 3-mile radius of that mosque that had been done for terror charges just in the area of that mosque. So yeah, something is going on that needs to be done about it. But again, watch out for our leaflets. They'll be around. They've got Manchester on the front, Paul Golding's picture, a multi-group picture with me on the back, and all the things I've talked about and I have talked about over the past weeks are all on here. And again, you can talk to me about anything. I'll tell you detailed explanations about all of that lot. Thank you, fam. Thank you. Don't forget, like and subscribe. I've still got a PayPal up. You can donate if you wish to. All kinds of funds going to getting me and other patriots down to demos and stuff like that. I've got a lot of speaking events coming up. With Britain First, I'm doing in June. I'll be down in Bristol, Justice for Bunny demo. I think they've moved it to June the 1st or 2nd now. So I'll be down in Bristol along with Jim Edwards, and we'll be speaking about certain things and that at these events. So again, watch out for my speeches. Hopefully I can get a good recording of my neo-Nazi racist speech that I'm going to do this afternoon, which is about violent crime in the city. Sir, can I interest you, please? Thank you, thank you. Which is about violent crime in and around our city areas. There's nothing racist or neo-Nazi about it. I'm not a man with all the answers. I don't know how to answer everything. There's certain things we could do, but I'm not an expert. But I can highlight and show you and make you aware of what's going on in our towns and cities. Thank you for listening. Big Johnny in Manchester. About, what time are we on? It's 11:55. We're with the Britain First lot. Couple of brilliant patriots. Sharon Whitman is here. Andrew Patrick, I had him on my show the other day. He's here. And it's good, so we're going to get some leaflets handed out. See what we can do. Big Johnny here.
How are we doing? Oh, live feed. Hello everyone. We're in central Manchester, St Anne's Square. It's going well at the moment. Some hostility, some support, mixed bag. We've got a meeting in North Manchester later on in the day. We're doing this day of action today because we're launching our Manchester branch. So yeah, we'll give you more updates shortly. We're expecting some hostility today because there's a big left-wing conference in town. We'll see how it goes.
There we go. A little chat with Paul.
Well, I'm going to start today by telling you how did I come into Britain First. 2011 I moved back to Oldham from Bradford. I spent 5 years in Bradford. I went up there just after the MP's expenses scandal. I was so disgusted with what were going on in our political arena. I had to get involved, and I've never been involved in my life. I voted Labour blindly and ignorant for years until I realised what they were like. So I wanted to make a difference. And I think it was 2012, I followed Britain First to a demo in Derby. I can't remember who it was then, but and I just stood at the sidelines to see what they were about. I ended up talking to a guy in the pub afterwards, and he'd been a victim of political correctness and couldn't talk to anyone else. No one would listen to him. His local community wouldn't listen to him, his local council wouldn't listen to him. And he come to Britain First, who listened to him and took in what he had to say. And since then I've been an avid follower on my Facebook account that's 9 years old. I've always said plenty of good things, and I've always donated and supported them where I can. It's come a time now that I'm part of Britain First, and I'm loving it. I am loving it totally. So that's me and Britain first. But what I want to say today is a bloodbath continues. London, Birmingham, Manchester, stabbings all over the place. Enoch Powell said rivers of blood. It's torrents of blood. It's not rivers, it's torrents of blood. I just can't believe how violent the country has come to. And last week after the Tommy demo, Patriots were in town. They've overheard a woman in distress. When they've gone over to her, she's being robbed and beaten by a Somalian guy. They've made contact with the police have come, and there was 4 incidents that night, and only 2 of them have gone down on paper. The woman incident has gone down on paper, but after that, these guys come back to attack them in a gang. You know what I mean? Yeah, they were robbing and beating on a woman. If not worse, she would have got if these Patriots had. And this is what we're put up against, and the police just don't want to know. I told you, and when I got stabbed, when I got to take my statement, the police officer said, "Are you sure you want to go through with this?" I stood up and said, "Of course I want to go through with it." I swore at the guy. It's in my bedroom. I've got an hole in my side, and I'm telling this guy what to. That's what it was like. They didn't want to register the crime, and 4 of us got stabbed that night, and 1 of them nearly died. And I'm not accepting that under any level. Of course, London last year had the biggest amount of killings, but this month Birmingham has reached that tip. You won't have heard it. Birmingham's reached that tip for the worst in the month. But again, London, Manchester, and Birmingham, 3 major cities across England, and they're all suffering this violent crime. I don't know what we can do about it. I'm not going to blame the police on austerity or anything like that. One of the failings, and I've mentioned this a couple of times, that Labour have in Manchester is creating ghettos and grouping everyone together. They've created a ghetto in Longside, a Somalian ghetto. 5 of them Somalians run down a Pakistani lad last year in Oldham, stabbed him to death in 3:20 in the afternoon. And they're just leaving it, they're not doing nothing. They're following the same mistakes they've always made. My dad warned them in the 90s about this kind of thing. They didn't do nothing. Oldham and Bradford riots. And what did the blame go? Creating ghettos and no integration in the communities. And they're still doing that now in North Manchester and in the area. And you know, we're walking a fine line, and it's very tense at the moment. And what I remember of the Oldham Bradford riots, I can see that happening again. But it won't be just between the Muslim man and the white man. It'll be between the Muslim man, the black Somalian, the white man, it'll be everybody fighting. You know what I mean? And it's just going to cause more harm and distress across our country. I just can't stress enough a couple of things I've noticed. I've noticed that people are not reporting crimes. Not reporting crimes. It could be a waste of time, but if we have a record, a better record, and the police have a better record, if you get a crime number, there's a record for your crime somewhere. Make sure you get that crime number. Make sure you get any kind of documentation to do with your crime. If you're afraid to go, ask someone to go with you. Me and plenty of others in this area will go with anyone to the police station if they want to approach the police over a crime or anything like that. And when I mean not reporting crimes, I know someone who was stabbed and never reported it. I know someone who was held to knife point at his cash machine, never reported it. You know what I mean? And it's not going to help this kind of thing. We do need to report it. I know the police might not always do something, but if we've got a record and we've got a crime number, then it will eventually go on to the stats of the area, whatever. And we need to push this more on the police. I will never ever let the police make me not report something. It's so paramount now that we report these crimes. It's the ultimate paramount now for me. So I implore everyone, please report your crime. No matter how bad or how not bad it seems, these crimes need reporting. Again, torrents of blood across the country. On Sunday night there was 2 stabbed in Manchester. There was 5 stabbed in London last week, couple of fatalities. Knife crime. What we've noticed as well is that the perpetrators and the victims are getting younger and younger. The gang who attacked us were aged between 15 and 20, and there's reports of 13 and 14-year-olds stabbing each other. So, I mean, what do? Do we go to the parents? Do we go to the schools and stuff like that? There's lots of different avenues to go across. Obviously, I'm going to blame some on the Labour policies in Manchester, non-integration and creating these ghettos. I'm going to blame a lot of it on that. I'm going to blame it also on drugs, because one of the gangs that attacked us was a drug gang run in the Manchester city centre area, run by whoever outside the Manchester centre area. They got caught with weapons and drugs on them on that night. So it just goes to show what we're up against. But again, please report anything. If you can help somebody out, if you can take someone to a police station, I'll do that personally. And no policeman's going to make me back down from reporting an incident. Like I told the guy who come to my house, I swore at him when he said that to me. I swore at him. Who are you telling me that I shouldn't report this? Honestly, I'm not making up, and I get this off a lot of victims. When they talk to police don't want to know. The Patriots last week in Manchester, if they hadn't pushed the police, the assault on the woman would have gone unreported. And it's just no good, that.
What are they trying to hide? That's the question.
Yeah, exactly. What are they trying to hide? Loads of different things. The police knew the ethnicity of the attackers as well, according to the Patriots who liaised with the police that night. They knew who were attacking them and still did nothing. But anyway, thank you very much for listening to me. OCS.
Next person I would like everyone to recognise for their indomitable contribution to our movement. It's been around for a long, long time now. And again, he's one of these activists who doesn't just show up once every 3 months, but almost every single week, and just is constantly reliable for this movement. Yeah. And I've been told today that he's very strongly considering standing as a Britain First candidate for this movement up here in Manchester. So please, big round of applause for John Lawrence. Big round of applause, everyone. Well deserved. And it's well done, Joe. Okay, and the last.
Yeah, I'm recording. Yep. So we're with John Lawrence. There he is. How did your day go, John?
Great today. We did a day of action in Manchester, talked to the local people there, good response, people of all ethnicities and that were taking our leaflets and was talking to them, and it's what we want. In 2 months I've talked to more local people than I have in 2 years worth of demos. And that's why I love the actions that Britain First do, demos, and I always will. I turned up at them last year and the year before when they did them in Rochdale. And I'm dedicated to it. I believe the Britain First Constitution 90%. No one is going to believe fully in everything they do, but I believe in it 90%, and that's good enough for me. I believe about the no more immigration, multiculturalism has failed. I believe in our Christian values and traditions, even though I'm not religious, I'm not practicing Christian, but I've been brought up this way. Boys Brigade, Sunday school, these all add to the kind of person I am now, and these are Christian values and traditions, so I believe in them strongly. And yeah, the rape gangs, Metrolink crime that we have on our Manchester leaflet, as you can see, it was put on, asked by me, all them certain things, including Disbury Mosque at the bottom. And I believe in all them things. I totally believe in all them things, and so do many other patriots. There's lots of rumours going around at what people have done in the past and this, that and the other, and Britain First are no different. But I believe in Paul, I believe in the group, They're doing really good things. They're working good with the Northern Ireland lads, where I'm hoping to get over there with them soon and do a few leaflet drops with them and that. And yeah, it's patriotic and the loyal. What you'll seem to find is a lot of the people who are long-term members of Britain First will only stay with Britain First because they know that that's their place. Unlike now, we have people moving across all different political parties, Conservative, Labour Conservative, UKIP and all this lot. That's no good. We need loyal, standing people who are going to keep up the support for long term. And that's my role here. Also, I'm here to learn about doing the stuff they do. I'm not a fully fledged activist. I'd like myself to be known like that, and I am. I do speak a lot, and I do a lot of things on the side, and a lot of my own things to add to the person who I am. But I know there's a lot I can learn from here, and there is. I'm learning all the time. With the help of Jim Edwards as well, my speeching is coming on a lot better. But yeah, I'm loving it at the moment. Absolutely loving it.
Yeah, let's see your medal. Lift it up. Let's have a look at it. Lovely. Very nice.
Now, I've come on every demo that I can with Britain First, and I will do for the rest of the year. That's who I'm committed to, and they know that. They know they're going to get the loyalty. And even when I'm not on a demo, I'm showing my Britain First colours. I went to Harewood the other Sunday and showed me Britain First colours and talked as a Britain First member. Talked about the issues we have. Showed the local people the leaflet that really directs to them in Harewood. So yeah, and that's why they like me. I am good on film. I have made the odd couple of mistakes, but I'm not a racist.
You're human.
I'm a humanist. I'm a human person, a human being who believes in equality for everyone. And I'm totally against the Labour Party and political correctness, and I just want to do better for everyone. Thank you, fam. OCS. Thank you.